Hi everybody, I'm Rick Beato. Welcome to part 2 of the guitar style of Pat Metheny. In this episode, we're going to talk about Pat's line construction and how he uses chromaticism within his lines to create interest. We're also going to talk about his use of substitute chord changes on things like blues. That's coming up next. I want to examine Pat's playing on the blues. I touched upon it in one of the other videos, Pat's ability to sequence melodic ideas in a really incredibly flowing way. So this is it from a bootleg recording from, I don't remember where it is, but this is the beginning of a blues in C, and I want to show you how he uses the blues scale and how he uses chromatic notes. We'll take the first chorus of this blues and we're going to do an examination on what he's playing over. So I'll play it for you here. Yeah. Right here. Okay, see, let's take a listen to this. So check out the first opening line. So he's playing a G minor 7 sound. He's got the G7 chord, but he's playing to the downbeat of the C7 chord. He's playing from the third of the G minor 7, and then to the flat 7 of the G minor 7 too, and then third to the root on the C7 chord, downbeat. And then there's a little tag line to it. 1, 2. That's a downbeat of the blues of the chord progression. 1, 2. That's a total Pat kind of thing with that feel. 1, 2. Listen now. So then he goes on the F7. He goes. And he's emphasizing the flat 7 there. You just heard the third on the C7 chord. So to make the changes, so you hear the chord change when it goes da ba da 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 ba da 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 da, and then he brings back the major third on the C there. So he goes. So 1, 2, downbeat, F7 there. Then he goes back to the C7 there. Listen. So he makes your ear hear that change back to C. So downbeat, then F7, back to C7. And he's really outlining C7 chord. C7. Then on that F7, so he goes, he's 5th, flat 7, 5th, 4th, then he goes up to the 6th or the 13 of the F7. Then he goes. So he goes chromatic, right? And then right down to C major triad on the C7 chord. And then he goes. Then he's outlining the da ba da 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 da. He's doing this minor 2 5 1 to D minor 7. And then to the turnaround. Okay, so let's take it from top. That's a da da da. So you get G7 to the sharp 9, flat 9 to the 5th. So usually he goes on E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, then a D minor 7 to the flat 9, up to the 3rd, flat 7 or flat 9 to the 3rd of the G7 chord, then right out of the altered scale or dominant diminished scale, then. So he's kind of avoiding. He's essentially playing C7 on the turnaround to G7. These are all chromatic neighboring tones. So you got the C major triad there, and he's going 5th, passing tone up to the root, passing tone up to the 3rd. Then right down the triad. Now a lot of people don't think that way. They don't think of. And then he's going 5th, 3rd, root, flat 7 to the 3rd of the C7 chord, perfectly outlining that whole chorus. Let's hear it from the top of that. Let's hear that whole chorus. That's a perfect first chorus on a blues. Okay, I want to take another chorus in this same blues, which has very, very hip sub-changes to it, and show you how Pat navigates through these. So he starts out once again on C7. Check it out. So, again, listen. Okay, so he's going on the C7. So do do ba da ba do ba 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 ba. Instead of going to the F7, he's going to a B flat major over C, like a C11 chord. So do do ba da ba do ba 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 da 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 do do do. Then he goes to a tritone substitute there before he goes to the F7. Now check this out. I'm going to play you. I'm going to comp with it. Let me comp with it. And then he goes. Da, ba, ba. So he goes F7. So it's like. Do, do, do. So that's so he's got a couple different substitutions in there. Typical in a bebop blues, F7 to F sharp, diminished 7 to back to C7 there as a turnaround chord. But Pat's doing B flat 7. He goes da da da. Then he goes C7. So it goes like this. There's C major 2, F sharp 7. Then he goes. Then. Walking down to the on the 7th, from the 7th to the 5th of F7, 5, 4, 3 on F7. Then he goes to B flat 7 there. Up to the 9th. Da, ba, ba. So, one more time. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it. Totally cool use of sub changes there. So, so he's extending the C instead of going in the earlier chorus. He was going more of like a standard bebop blues. This time he's going. I did F sharp 7 over C, so really great sound. This first line we're going to talk about is going to get into kind of some of the chromaticism that Pat uses over one chord. This is over a B flat major 7 chord, so he's using B flat Lydian scale. It's with the guitar synth, but you'll get the vibe of it here. Starts right here. Listen to it again. Okay, so he's playing, he starts here on the 9th of the chord. Ninth, downbeat. He's actually playing the 6th on a downbeat, but he's really making, these are all upper extension lines. And then to the root. And then, that's one of the best parts. That's a double chromatic. And then B flat. Da 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 da, then da, then he goes into line. Anyway, so here, check it out. Okay, so that is a really cool Pat line. That's not on any record at all, but you can find it on YouTube. It's from a concert in Kansas City from 1982. That's Are You Going With Me as a song. Okay, the next riff we're going to talk about is over the same tune, but the live version of it off Travels. This is on a B flat half diminished chord. This is Pat's use of chromaticism and the Locrian natural 2 scale as well. He uses actually both the natural 2 and the flat 2, but listen to the line here. That's the first part. It goes like this. And then the second part. So he's going, which is right out of Locrian natural 2. And then he plays a chromatic line. And he passes through the flat 2 there too for Locrian. And then so he's using this. Using a minor add 9. That's a great thing to practice over half diminished chord, is your minor add 9 off the... He's using a D flat minor triad over B flat half diminished, or B flat minor 7 flat 5, because a B flat minor 7 flat 5 chord is a D flat minor triad with a B flat in the bass. When I saw Pat practice, that's the kind of stuff he was practicing. He'd be doing double stroke picking like that through arpeggios and through minor 9 ones too. Line though. That gives you the sound of a half diminished chord right there. Then he goes right up the minor triad. And then he, on the A major 7 chord. So really, really killer line. Don't think that you can't transcribe solos like this one that's on a guitar synthesizer because it's not a regular guitar sound. It's just like transcribing a sax solo or a trumpet solo. And there's a lot of great lines in Pat's synth solos. Okay, here's a little exercise that's based on one of Pat's licks that'll help you when you're transcribing his solos to learn the chromatic lines that he plays. You have to really pay particular attention to where the hammer-ons and pull-offs are and where the pick notes are. So I'll give you a couple examples. Something like this. I'm using the G and the B string. You got to really look where the hammer-ons and pull-offs are. So it's pull-off, pick. That's really the key of the whole thing. I'm going down a C major triad. There's like I'm playing a C7 chord, and I'm hammering back on. So I'm doing a pattern. I'll do it really slow. Just getting the patterns down. And then next part is so you gotta get that part down. So if you get that move down, then you got the whole lick. So those kind of lines, he interweaves patterns like that when he's playing around chord changes. So let's play it. Say I've got an A minor 7 chord here. I might play it. So I'm weaving it in. also skip a string and do the same type of thing. And I'm doing hammer-ons. It's really tricky because those are all the ones on the A string are hammer-ons. I'm skipping a string. Here's a couple examples in one of Pat's tunes off First Circle that shows you this, what I'm talking about, this kind of playing. Check it out. Lines like that. Listen. Or lines like this. Then he goes into the next part right here. Okay, those ideas are played like this. So what this is, so it's simply, let's say we're taking an F chord and we're going back F to E flat, and we're going. So I'm doing that hammer on, but I have to do it loud enough to where it sounds like it's being picked, because this hand is just going hammer. Down, up, down, hammer. You got to make sure you really hit it hard enough. Sometimes you hear Pat play if he's got C7 flat 9. So I'm playing the four different triads that are from the dominant diminished scale. C major, E flat major, but I'm not even playing the fifth. I'm playing third root, third root, third. It's a really cool lick. And the flat wounds really help because it gives it that slidey feel. You got to really practice that to do that. That tires my hand out because I haven't played that lick in about 30 years or so. But anyways, and you'll hear Pat, you'll hear him go between all the different strings on it. You can come up with some of your own licks like that. Sometimes I'll do things. I will do lines like that. That's based off that type of an idea. I might do fifths. I'm not picking the low note ever. I'm hammering it. It's really cool. I got my ring on. It's kind of hard to do. But that's all based off those Pat hammer-on lines like that. So the thing I would suggest is just to take this one pattern and try and get it faster. Once you get the hammer, that's all you have to do is get that part. So I'm going pick, hammer. Every time I'm playing on the A string, the note is hammered. It's not picked. You hear how loud that note is when I'm playing it too. It's as loud as a picked note, and that's why it sounds like that when he's doing it. But he's really, if you watch his right hand, he's actually not playing those notes. Okay, I'm going to show you a perfect lick that demonstrates this technique that I'm talking about. This is something I recorded at the Village Vanguard in 1984 with Pat and Charlie Hayden and Billy Higgins playing on the Rejoicing Tour. And they're playing All the Things You Are. And Pat's playing, this is just a small part of his 8-minute solo. And he's playing F minor 7 to B flat 7 to E flat major 7. Check it out. Play it again. Okay, so here's the lick. Okay, so it starts on the, so it's really F minor. So it's got those little turnarounds in it. I'll play it again slow. So here's a tricky part. It's always those chromatic movements backwards. So. Let's do it again. And then he continues on with that other riff. That's all for now. In my next Pat Metheny guitar style video, I'm going to talk even more about substitute chord changes and his phrasing. Please tell your friends to sign up here, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and check out my other videos. That's all for now. I'm Rick Beato.